Asbaty-1 World 10-Pin Masters and the last of our first round matches. Only one spot remains in the quarter-final and the two players taking to the lanes tonight are preparing for a tough match. They've seen some aggressive wins and some astonishing defeats at this lane, but soon it will be their turn to sand down their bowling belts and aim for the pins. Let's look at the draw so far.
We've already lost 3 times world champion Zara Glover, 2005 Masters winner Jens Nickel and 3 times winner Torrid Torgerson. Now Dominic Barrett of England faces Deandra Asbaty of the USA for a place in the last 8. Each match the best of 2 games, the winner, the one with the higher points aggregate.
So with a fierce lineup already in the quarters, who will be joining them? Well, tonight another lady competes. She's already proven her worth on the lane by winning a stack of trophies, including Malaysian Open champion and Player of the Year. However, England's leading bowler is also eyeing up that quarter-final spot. So let's meet the players.
I'm Dominic Barrett and I'm playing Deandra Asbaty tonight.
I'm Deandra Asbaty and I'm playing Dominic Barrett.
She's a female World Cup champion, so you don't get up from just being an average player. She's quite young as well, but she's definitely made a name for herself across the whole world, so she's a very good player.
I met him about 5 or 6 years ago and I'm very impressed with where he's taken his game. He's really worked very hard and has developed a lot as a bowler, so I look forward to bowling him.
I'm just going to go out there and play the lane and try not to look at my opponent too much, but if it gets close, then who knows, but hopefully I can go and play my own game and see a good win.
I hope that Dominic bowls well. I hope I bowl better.
Your Master of Ceremonies, John McDonald.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to the Metrodome here in Barnsley. It's the PartyPoker.net World 10-Pin Masters, brought to you by Matchroom Sport. The top 16 players in the world have assembled here on this single lane to win the coveted title and the $30,000 first prize. But it's time now to meet the players. Firstly, would you please welcome, representing England from Cambridge, would you please welcome now the Commonwealth all-event champion, it's Dominic Barrett!
21-year-old Dominic has won the Commonwealth All-Event. He went out in round 1 last year and has his family here to make sure he does better this time round. He's topped the rankings in the past 2 seasons and will be tough to beat on home soil.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the youngest member of the coveted Hall of Fame. From the United States of America, it's Deandra Asbaty!
Dee, as she likes to be called, is 26, the youngest player ever to be inducted into the World Bowling Writers Hall of Fame, and the first American. She's won championship after championship at world, international and national level. She even has her own line of athletic clothing. And alongside commentator Simon Golding is player Guy Kaminsky.
Our last first round match of this PartyPoker.net World 10-Pin Masters. And yet again, it's a battle of the sexes. It's a unique situation created by this Masters tournament.
Such a short format, it really puts pressure on you to not lose by a big margin in the first game. So I think it's just like a sparring session really, the first game. You're feeling each other out and you don't want to get hurt. The last thing you want to do is be down by 40 or 50, and we've seen in all the other games where the players are down, it's very difficult, nearly impossible to come back in the second game.
Dominic Barrett, 21 years of age, very confident, very pleasant young man. He's the sort of guy that you need in a sport to take it forward. Works very hard at his game. Went out first round last year, but he gave a great account of himself in that match and has had some decent success. Commonwealth all-events champion, so this guy knows how to bowl on the big stage.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to actually be drawn in the same lane with Dom at the AMF World Cup in Caracas, where he performed remarkably well. And most like out there, I mean, young, he brings a lot of enthusiasm to the table, and he's really hungry to learn, and I think the future is really bright for Dom.
There's a lot of young bowlers like him out there. it is extremely competitive sport. I think that's one of the things that sometimes people fail to appreciate at home, Guy, that thousands and thousands, or millions of people across the world bowling. And this is a tough sport to get to the top of.
Yeah, I mean, there really are millions of people bowling. I'm not sure the exact stats, but I know 10-pin bowling is in the top 5 most participated sports in the world.
Well, here's someone that has made it to the top. Hall of Famer, just 26 years of age. Deandra Asbaty, a very positive young lady. Nickname of D, debuting at her Masters. She's a writer, she's a coach, she's a spokesperson for youth bowling in the USA. She plays on the US team, and she's the current US amateur champion. I mean, that is some CV to amass by the age of 26.
It's remarkable, really. Her achievements are scary. But I can tell you, amongst the players, there's quite a bit of banter going on, because Deandra's the last lady left. So there's a bit of pressure on her shoulders for all the ladies out there. You really need to be cheering Deandra on here, but I can tell you she's good to go. She's a great player, and I think she's going to perform remarkably well.
Yeah, definitely flying the flag for girl power, but she's more than happy to accept that mantle. Players' practice balls done and dusted. Time for Bernie White, the tournament referee, to get things underway.
You'd like to shake hands? I wish you good luck, good bowling. Dominic to bowl first.
So Dominic will be first up. Again, it's a tough one to call, isn't it? If anyone gets locked into this lane, Guy, then they can post some big numbers, they can put the pressure on early doors. But you just feel that Asbaty is riding on a crest of a wave at the moment. She's had some great results recently, and well, she thinks she's going to go a long way in this tournament.
Yeah, she does, but this will be her first experience on the single lane. It's her debut. And Dom, you know, although he lost last year, he put up a great performance, and that's going to stand him in great stead. And I think he'll use that experience from last year to try and get him through this match now.
What a start.
Nothing settles your nerves better than a great pure shot like that was. Really clean off his hand, and that ball, you know, hit the 1-3 pocket perfectly, and all 10 in the pit.
Got some revs on it as well. That's not bad for a first delivery.
Yeah, he doesn't leave too much behind, good old Dom. And that's what we've seen in some of the games. The guys have been able to hit the pocket, but the key is to have enough power and drive to get the 10-pin out. That seems to be the biggest enemy for right-handers at the moment, is getting that 10-pin out.
Good pocket hit, not too much wrong with that. But there's the 10-pin that Guy was talking about, left standing.
Yeah, I mean, it really is a good shot. It's just, I mean, people say it's unlucky, but really it's not really that unlucky. It's your ball choice. It's trying to match up your release, your angle of entry into the pocket. It's not just about hitting the pocket. You've got to come at the right angle to make sure you can maximize your carry. And in this format, you need strikes. Spares won't win you this tournament.
Well, that's been evident already. So Dominic Barrett looking to work this strike. Double would do very nicely to get things underway. Good home support here in Barnsley for this young man.
I'd like to tell you that he's England's favourite, but he's got a long way to go in front of Paul Moore. He is a real hometown favourite here, and he's looking in ominous form, I must tell you, for the rest of the players.
He's the man, isn't he? What a first round match he had. Confident, aggressive, but the 10-pin stays.
Yeah, the 10-pin's been the real enemy, and the players who are managing to get that 10-pin out are the guys who can get many strikes in a row, and that's how really you amass a really good score. You know, if you keep leaving a 9 every second or third ball, you're going to bowl a good game, but to bowl a great game, you need to start throwing 5, 6, 7 strikes in a row.
Well, we've always said at this World 10-pin Masters tournament that if you're going to win, you're going to have to put 4s and 5s together, but such is the scoring this year, it really has gone up to 6 and 7 strikes if you want a chance.
Yeah, I can tell you firsthand, I was lucky enough to see 13 in a row against me with Oscar. He bowled fantastically well, and also he made a ball change, and that's the difference. And in this short format, you're under the microscope. You know, at the magnifying glass, you have to make the right decision, and you have to make it quickly. And I'm not saying they've got the wrong ball or anything like that, but you have to make it at the right time. And those guys that make those little small adjustments, they can turn 2 strikes in a row, 9, into 5 strikes in a row. That's the small difference. That 9 really makes it. You can get a run of 5 strikes in a row rather than breaking it up with a 9.
Well, Guy Kaminsky smiling just a bit more than he was when he had to watch those 13 strikes from Oscar Palermo. It was more of a grimace during that match when you were watching him, but what a fine match it was. And of course he meets Chris Barnes in the quarter-final. That's one of the hot tickets at this tournament. Deandra bowling with good rev rates, so she's giving herself a chance when she gets into the pocket, but she just hasn't quite got her angles right so far.
Yeah, Deandra, for one of the girls out here, has rev rates of around about 300. That's incredibly high for a girl. She's got a particularly powerful ball, and that's why I think a lot of the guys that are here believe that she's the best hope for the girls to get through, is because of her rev rate and her power that she can generate on her ball.
Well, her style a little reminiscent of the great Linda Barnes, who played here last year, Chris Barnes' wife. Both players just so adept in this format, and Barrett unlucky there. He sent across a pretty strong messenger.
Yeah, that was a good shot there again, but you can see he actually sent the messenger, which was the head pin coming in front of the 10 pin there. Perhaps just not getting enough angle, hitting the head pin a bit thin, sending it across and in front. But perhaps just a little bit of nerves, I think. Maybe just overthrowing the ball a bit to begin, but I'm sure he'll calm down and just let the ball roll a bit rather than overpower it down the lane.
Yeah, he does seem to be cranking it a bit after that first strike. And of course that camera angle foreshortens the distances between the pins. We think that messenger was close, but there was probably a good few centimetres between that and the 10 pin.
Yeah, sure. But just a little bit of nerves, and I believe it takes 3 or 4 frames before you really settle down. But I mean, in saying that, they're going blow for blow. And in all the other games we've seen, this is how it starts off. We feel each other out, and then towards the middle to the latter half of the first game, the strike starts to come, and as long as you're there or thereabouts, you're more than happy.
Strike for Asbaty. Pressure's back on Barrett, and that's how it looks after 3 frames. There really isn't much to choose between these two.
Only one can make it through to the quarter-final for the chunk of that $70,000 prize pool. Who will it be? Find out after the break.
My career highlight so far really is the 2006 Commonwealth World Championships, or Commonwealth Championships. I played pretty well with had a really good England team that went. I broke a 6-game record in the Commonwealths, and we brought back a haul of medals between the 4 of us that went, and it was one of the best 2 weeks I've ever had bowling. It was fantastic. But I didn't think I made it to the Masters, but because I won the rankings last year in England, I got invited again, and I was smiling for the whole day or the whole week when I found out. I played pretty good last year. I'm going to take a lot of positives from last year into this year, and I'm really just going to play my opponent, play the lane, and we'll just see what happens. When I was watching these guys on TV, and now I'm actually going to be competing against them again. But I'd like to try and do a little bit better this year, and I feel like I can compete really well with these guys now, and I'm ready to start beating them.
So, Guy, you just feel Dominic's got to just calm himself down a bit here.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite easy just to maybe throw the ball a bit too quick, or just try and put too much power into the ball. What you can commonly do, if you see the 10 pin, you might actually want to try and throw more power to get the 10 pin out. And sometimes it's actually better just to try to do a little bit less, maybe a little less ball speed, and let the ball do the work for you rather than you doing the work.
Well, I'll be interested to see what adjustments Barrett made here. Successful strike, and it looked like a pretty good one. We'd normally expect him to be up around the 500 mark with his rev rates, so he's been throwing it hard, not quite as accurately as he would want, and that pesky 10 pin not taken out by the messenger.
Yeah, John, with his 500 rev rate is really high for a guy with his thumb in the ball. I mean, we've seen the guys like Oscar and Belmo, who can, with the 2 fingers, can really generate rev rates in the 600.
Over 600, that's what they've been doing.
That's tremendous. I mean, but it's really difficult with your thumb in the ball to create those kind of revs.
Good spare from Deandra. This is a tight game. So that's the maximums that are available. 5.58 for the American, 5.69 for the Englishman Dominic Barrett. Very close, too close to call, which is exactly what we said at the start of this match.
Yeah, I think they'll both be really happy with their start. A clean game so far. and now all they need is a few strikes, and that'll really make it a great game.
There's one. He must have been listening to you, guy. So
Yeah.
a double for Barrett.
Yeah, I think Dom's thrown that ball great. You can see that ball reaction looks great. Just got to hope he keeps in that 10-pin out and just to stay within himself. Yeah, he really liked that. You can see in his body language there that he likes what he's got going. He likes the look of his ball into the pocket. He really likes what he's got.
Oh, nice work. This is the match that we were looking for.
Yeah, both players have settled down now, halfway through the first game, and this is generally what we've seen in the games, is that just got to get those nerves out of the way. It doesn't matter how many times you come out here and play, that pressure is always there. That crowd sitting right there brings that little bit extra to the game that you don't experience any other time during the year in all other tournaments. So yeah, that really just takes a bit of time to settle down, but hopefully now they can cut loose and we can see quite a lot of strikes.
You still get the nerves?
Oh, big time.
Barrett to try and make it turkey. Does so. He's found his range.
Yeah, those last 3 shots have been absolutely superb. And perfectly into the 1-3 pocket.
Yeah, they've been very convincing, haven't they, with the carry? It's looking good now for Dominic Barrett. Still on for 5-6-9 if he can strike out from here.
Yeah, Deandra will want to get a strike out to stay with Dom. Keep the distance between her and him by 10 pins.
And Deandra's found her distance as well. This game's starting to warm up. This is what the crowd come to see year in, year out.
Yeah, I think the sparring's finished now, Simon. The gloves are off and they're going into toe-to-toe now. So, yeah, I tell you, this is going to be a high-scoring game, I feel.
Well, that's what this format was originally invented for. This concept of this gladiatorial contest, this head-to-head contest down on the single lane. And then it was just a masterstroke to make men and women play against each other, and that's been one of the unique features of this tournament. And Deandra once again proving that anybody can win on this lane, and Barrett's got a game on his hands. Great shot.
Yeah. But Deandra won't be intimidated. She's been around many tournaments around the world. She'll just hang in and she'll wait for opportunity to pounce. So she's going to keep striking, and the gap's only 10 pins. If Deandra strikes here, the gap's 11 pins. That's not a train smash. If one strike Tom doesn't get, she can make that back the next frame. So as long as she stays within 10 pins, she's got nothing to worry about.
Oh dear. Straight through the head pin.
Yeah, that really is going to hurt her game here. And she's going to have to try and take 2 is probably her best result to get the count.
Well, she was pretty much trying to follow Barrett's line, wasn't she? Working out nice and wide, but that one just got away from her. It's going to be an open frame, and it's a big open frame. Problems for the American Deandra Asbaty.
And Dom's got a big opportunity here to take a nice lead into the second game, which is obviously not ideal, but obviously also not the end of the world. So, I mean, Deandra can still strike out here for 216 and don't let that lead get too far away from her.
Barrett ideally placed to keep this pressure building. Looking to turn 4 into 5. Just a touch of luck on that 10 pin, but he'll take that.
Yeah, that's a great shot by Dom. He really seems to be into his match earlier. I think it's a sign of respect that he has for Deandra, that he knows you can't let up. You can't give Deandra a chance in any shape or form. So I think he knows he's got an opportunity here, and he's just really trying to get his nose out in front.
Clean so far, 6 strikes, 2 spares. But that key statistic, no open frames for Barrett. Great work, so Asbaty straight back into it. That's the competitor she is.
Yeah, I just think she made one bad shot, but I mean, we're all human after all. But yeah, she just try push and keep that gap as close as she can for the first game, because we've still got 12 more frames to go, and she can strike as much as the next guy. So Dom will know that, and he wants to keep his run going, because once you kind of get into a run, it's easy to keep adding on. But sometimes if you're going strike 9, it's really hard to get a run together. But once it's going for you, you want to just try and extend it by one more shot. And I mean, we saw the Oscar with a 13. You can keep going here on this lane. You know, who knows? 10, 11 shots.
This is a great run. 6-bagger for Barrett. And he's done it in the foundation frame as well. So it's all looking good for the young Englishman.
Dom's got the hammer down now. The maximum score here of 269.
He's found the zone, hasn't he? And now he's just got to stay in it.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I mean, he's hit the pocket every shot. Took those 2 10-pins. I think once the nerves calmed down, he just stayed within himself. The 10-pin started falling down for him. But Deandra, she's not going anywhere. And she's got a double back. So, yeah, as long as she keeps striking with Dom, Dom can't get any more of a lead.
Yeah, her second double. That means that she's trying to keep pace with Barrett. This is good. Now, what can Dominic Barrett do from here? This is a chance to really put the pressure on to the American. And he will feel that he needs to. Doesn't want to let someone as dangerous as this back into the match after such a good start. Likes it. Crowd like it as well. There's quite a few vocal fans this year who are shouting before it goes into the pocket.
Yeah, definitely being a local lad. Old Dom, he's got a big following here, support all the English fans out here. But Deandra is actually excellent with the crowd. They really do have, she's really got to know the people. In the short time she's been here, the crowd have really grown a liking to her.
But they're pretty fair across the board, aren't they? They seem to like everybody. And
they're knowledgeable as well. That, you know, they know what's going on in the game, and yeah, they're excellent in the crowd. They know what's going on, and the support they give you is fantastic.
Great shooting. Dominic Barrett here, turning on a masterclass to finish off this first game. 269 if he can put this bonus ball away.
Yeah, I mean, this is nearly a perfect game bowled by Dom. Except for those 2 10-pins, he was unlucky. But he'll want to strike now. I mean, whether he throws a 9 or a strike now will make very little difference to his score, maybe 1 or 2 pins. But you want to keep your run going. You want to keep those strikes going, so he won't want to not throw a strike now.
He's got it.
The ball reaction is absolutely deadly. I think Deandra's going to have to come up with something special here in the second game to overcome Dominic.
So no adjustments needed for Barrett. Clean as you like. From that 4th frame onwards, all the way through 269. We said some pretty good numbers were being posted. That is right up there with the best. And Deandra has got her work cut out now. Good strike. It's there again.
You know, it's so easy after you have that 6 out in the middle of a frame for other players just to give up hope. You know, it's just a sign of Deandra that she hasn't given up. She's still hanging in there. I mean, who's to say she can't shoot 300 next game?
Well, she could. And Dominic, 21 years of age. Yes, it's an old head on young shoulders, but young players, they are prone to lose their form a little quicker than the more experienced players. No, didn't quite make it in.
Yeah, her ball didn't quite turn the corner for her there. But still, I mean, at 204, it's a really good game from Deandra. Unfortunately, 60 pins back, but 269, I think, is probably the highest first game we've seen in the first round so far.
Just going back through the stats, we had a 274, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Barbados shake.
Yeah, it was Barrett, wasn't it? Yeah. What a field we've got assembled for this year's World 10-pin Masters. And a great score of 269 takes Dominic Barrett into a commanding lead at the end of the first game.
One of the most important things in bowling right now is youth bowling, and I have the honor of being the United States Bowling Congress youth spokesperson. So I get a chance to see youth bowlers all the time and to help them with their game and to tell the parents and the kids all the opportunities there is in bowling. So I think by being here and showing them what they're able to achieve is one of the most important things that we can do as bowlers. I've won the World Championships in 2003 and the World Ranking in 2004. I've been on our national team for 9 years, and it's bowling. The beauty of bowling is that